So I hope that you've had a chance to watch the other video, introductory video I made that actually describes what we will be reading and thinking about, how we will approach the subject in this course, which is the most important thing. This is just a hopefully brief video to go through how the course is structured and what you will be required to do to complete the course successfully, how things are set up. Obviously, there's a syllabus. So you just click on the syllabus in the main menu, and we'll be taking a look at that. But what I want to emphasize is that the course, as you can see, is structured by week, and is, except for the first week, because of the nature of one of the assignments, is every week it's set up the same way. We have our readings. We have some videos that I've prepared talking about the readings. There is a weekly assignment, and there is a weekly discussion board. But if we move to week 2, you'll see that there's actually one more weekly assignment that will start in week 2. That is, again, we have our readings, we have the video that I made, we have another weekly assignment, in this case study questions, we have the weekly discussion board, but then we have the reflection. So let's just take a look, at a typical setup. Obviously, the readings need to be done. The most important thing is to familiarize yourself with them. The videos are videos that I've made. Some of them more recent than others, just talking about the week's reading. And that's kind of part of the course. I think an online course is that your teacher should, to some extent, supplement for the missed class time by talking about the readings and giving
this week we're looking at
what they find interesting about them. There will be a weekly assignment. Sometimes it'll be a quiz. Sometimes it'll be like a 250-word essay. Sometimes
I guess on the outside
questions
appears to be a very self-contained.
Sorry. So the weekly assignment, then the weekly discussion board, and then, which is just a discussion board. And then the weekly reflection. What you'll see is that after you've completed your work for the week, I will make a video of some sort reviewing student work, sort of highlights or things that I thought were important to focus on. That will either be student work from the discussion board or student work from the weekly assignment or some combination of them. And then you'll see that for the week following, there will be a reflection assignment that requires you to actually watch that video and respond to some question about what was said about student work in that video. I hope that that's clear. So here we are in week 2. There's a bunch of assignments, but then there's a reflection on week 1. And that'll continue throughout the rest of the course, starting with week 2. If we look at the week 3 material on the Facebook experiment, we have our discussion, our weekly assignment, and then the week 2 reflection, right? So for every week, there'll be an assignment having to do with the previous week that will require you to watch the video that I prepared, which I will send out when I make it. So as you can see, everything is assembled or structured by week, except for the 3 essay assignments, which have specific due dates, and I will certainly be talking to you about those. But if you click on the link in the main menu for them, you'll see that there's an essay prompt, and then there's always a video talking about the essay assignment. It's clarifying the kind of thing that I'm looking for and the kind of subjects that I'd like you to get into. So if we look at the syllabus, you can see that, yes, the course structure every week: readings, videos, discussion board, the weekly assignment, and the reflection assignment based upon the review video of the previous week's student work. All of those things on a weekly basis are due at the same time, which is Sunday by midnight. So if we begin our week on a Monday, we end it on a Sunday, all the weekly assignments have to be submitted by midnight on Sunday. So let's take a little bit of a closer look at each one of the weekly assignments. First, the discussion board. Participation in the weekly discussion board is required. That is, it's a graded assignment. That is, every time we have a discussion board posted, it's worth 1 point. But it's not a graded assignment. As long as you follow directions here and post and say something substantive, then you'll get the full credit. There will be no starter prompt, so don't wait for any post from me to begin your own posting. I don't find that particularly helpful for a teacher to start the thing. It's an open discussion, so you don't need a prompt. The discussion is unstructured. You should post a substantive account of your thoughts on the week's materials and at least one thoughtful response to another student's post. So this is ungraded, but your post of your own thoughts should be a paragraph or two, actually weighing in on something that you find interesting about the week's materials. And your replies to other student posts should be substantive in the sense that they shouldn't just be nice post or I agree or that's interesting, but it should actually address something specific about that student's post. Please keep in mind that you will not get full credit for this assignment until you post at least 2 times. So your post of your own thoughts should be distinct from your post, which is a reply to someone else's thoughts. Unless you post twice, you won't get full credit for this assignment. Please begin posting as early in the week as you can. Do not leave your posts until the end of the week. This is something that I'll probably reinforce as we move through the first couple weeks of class. It is almost inevitable that a lot of students will just leave everything to the end of the week because it's their online class. It's not really a priority for them. So they don't even look at the material till the very end of the week when the weekly assignments are due. That is not the right way to approach this course. So although the due dates are, for all of the weekly assignments, Sunday at midnight, I would very much appreciate it if you began posting on the discussion board earlier than that. If you leave it to the end, it's a sign that you're not taking the class seriously. So I'm not saying you have to post right away as the week starts. You need some time to actually read the material. But if you're leaving it to the very end of the week, you're defeating the purpose of the discussion board. The weekly assignment, this will take different forms. Some weeks there will be a quiz, some a set of review questions, or a short essay assignment. Although these assignments are ungraded, they must be submitted on time to get full credit. Late submissions will be accepted, but at half credit. I also reserve the right to assign them no credit if they are done negligently or show a lack of familiarity with the materials. So this is an ungraded assignment, but it has to sort of meet the minimum standard of quality. That is, it has to be something that shows some effort and shows some knowledge of the week's readings. Now, the weekly reflections, each week you will be required to watch the review video on the previous week's student work and respond to a question about it. So you'll see that the weekly reflection assignment that starts in week 2, there's no content in there yet. There's no actual assignment in there. That's because I haven't read. I need to read the student work before I can come up with an appropriate assignment, just a question. So it won't be a very demanding or extensive assignment, these weekly reflections, but it will require that you have some familiarity with the student work that I highlighted in the video and that you can respond to it. Besides the weekly assignments, the weekly assignment, the discussion board, the weekly reflection, the major work for this course are the 3 essays. Again, as those essays are due, you will see that there are videos in which I talk about the particular essay assignment in more detail. Just to let you know, I do say in here that you should keep in mind this is a philosophy class, and what that means is that your essay should focus on the discussion of ideas. They are not research papers. They are argumentative papers, philosophical reflection papers, interpretive papers, however you want to put it, but a free exploration of ideas, not an accumulation of data, information. But that will become clear, should be clear as we move on. As far as late work, turning in work late, The only thing that can't be turned in late is the discussion board posts. Once the discussion board is closed, there's no turning anything in. And everything else can be turned in late, but at half credit. So you want to turn these things in on time. The way that your grades will be determined in the class is just on the basis of the percentage of points available that you actually score. And this should be evident in the grade center. I think it'll show you what points you've scored and what percentage too. As far as plagiarism, this is especially an issue with the essays. But with all your work, I just expect it to be original, and that when you are quoting from other sources, that you use quotation marks. As far as the essays, I would, you're writing essays on material that you've read, so quoting from it is quite a natural thing to do. But there's no reason really to read any additional material to do anything like that for the course. So I think that's about it. If you have any questions about any of these assignments or the way the course is structured or when things are due or things like that, please let me know. One of the things I'd like to emphasize is that although I have no regular office hours, I think that's a rather silly thing for an online course. I am open and available to you at any time. And that means emailing me at my Drexel email or calling me on my cell phone, the number that I provided on the syllabus. I really mean that. If you want to talk about the course or you want to talk about some problem you're having with the course or anything having to do with the course, please feel free to contact me. Don't try to contact me like through the Blackboard site if that's the thing. Just email me directly at my Drexel email or give me a call. Welcome to the course, and if you have any questions about anything, please contact me.